the same square, 3 hours apart. That's the difference between a great morning in Venice and spending it stuck in a line you didn't plan for. Venice is expecting record numbers of visitors this year. So today I'm going to cover everything you need to know about visiting Doge's Palace, St. Mark's Basilica, and other sites in St. Mark's Square. Stay to the very end where I'll share some of the best ways to explore Venice, plus some insights that'll give you a full picture of the floating city. One of the biggest things that will impact your trip to Venice is arriving at the right time to these sites. We've seen a lot of visitors hit St. Mark's Square mid-morning in peak summer and end up in crowds and the lines they weren't expecting. It changes the whole experience and not in a good way. The best time to arrive is before 9 a.m. The square is quiet, the light on the Basilica is extraordinary, and you can actually take it all in without being shoulder to shoulder. If the morning window doesn't work for your schedule, plan to explore the Venice's food scene or check out other parts of the island at the busiest hours. Come back to the square in the evening. After 9 or 10 p.m. is best. The day trippers are gone, the cruise ships are gone, and the square goes quiet in a way that's hard to believe given how busy it can be at peak times. The reason that the palace looks like this is because Venice's real defense was the lagoon. The shallow waters and narrow channels meant that enemy fleets couldn't actually reach the city all that easily. They didn't need the stone walls you'd see at other sites in Europe, so instead of a fortress, they built something open, a public building for a merchant republic. The ground floor arcades were designed so that citizens and merchants could gather there freely. Getting into the palace, though, takes planning. This is one of the most visited sites in Italy, and the entrance situation can genuinely catch people off guard. Once you're inside, there are a few important things to see. The golden staircase. It's a gilded ceiling built specifically to overwhelm visiting rulers on the way in. The Grand Council Chamber. Tintoretto's Paradise covers the entire far wall, one of the largest oil paintings in the world. The Bridge of Sighs is the place where prisoners crossed after their sentencing, and they got one last view of the lagoon through a tiny window before they were sequestered down to the dungeons. And lastly, Casanova's cell. He was held in the palace prison since 1755. Funny enough though, he escaped through the roof, and he remains the only person to have successfully broken out of this prison. As I mentioned, getting inside though is not a walk-up situation. Come in without a plan, and you're going to be waiting in line for hours. Even with a ticket, showing up midday in peak season means a queue that can run a couple of hours. Ticket prices for adults in 2026 are €35, 30 euros if you book more than 30 days out. Plan at least 2 hours to visit this site. If you want to skip the tickets and the line entirely, I'd recommend booking one of our tours. We offer a skip-a-line access so you can go right in, plus one of our amazing guides who will walk you through what you're actually looking at and describe everything in detail. The link for this is in the description, or scan the QR code. I promise that this is an absolute must-see. Viewing from outside is nice, but you're really missing out if you don't go in. And here's the honest truth about going on your own. The rooms are spectacular and the staircase is impressive, but without context, they're just rooms. The stories behind them, who sat there, what decisions were made, what happened to the people who ended up on the wrong side of a vote, that's what makes this palace visit something you will actually remember. The first time I visited the palace, I didn't do this. The second time, I did a tour, and one of our guides completely changed how I saw the building. If you want to experience it in that way, check out the link in the description below. It covers both the palace and the basilica next door, includes skip-the-line access, and the guides are licensed art historians. Just next door to the palace is St. Mark's Basilica, built in the 11th century and has one of the more interesting origin stories of any church in Europe. The basilica exists because two Venetian merchants smuggled the remains of St. Mark out of Alexandria in 828 AD. They hid the remains under layers of pork and cabbage to get past customs inspectors at the port. They brought the relics back to Venice, built a chapel, and the chapel grew into what you're seeing today. If you're wondering why the facade looks nothing like the Gothic cathedrals in France or Germany, or some of the other more famous basilicas and churches in Italy, the arches, the gold mosaics, and the domes are all Byzantine. Venice was a trading empire, and Constantinople was the center of that world. When they built the basilica, they didn't just copy the style, they literally shipped back marble, columns, and decorative pieces from their trading routes and military campaigns. The 4 bronze horses above the entrance were looted from Constantinople in 1204. Napoleon took them to Paris in 1797, and they were returned after his defeat. The ones on the balcony now are replicas. The originals are actually upstairs inside the museum. Once you're inside, you'll be blown away by the 8,000 square meters of gold mosaics on the ceilings and the walls. There are a few other things that you absolutely can't skip. The Pala d'Oro behind the main altar is a piece from the 10th century with over 1,900 gems. Photos just simply don't capture it. You have to see this in person. Upstairs, the museum and the balcony, you'll see the original bronze horses and get a very unique view of St. Mark's Square from above. Before you get in, there are 2 things enforced at the door that you should definitely know about, especially during peak season. Your shoulders and knees must be covered, no exceptions. Bags larger larger than a small purse are not allowed inside. Leave any larger bags at the left luggage point near the square before you enter the line, or you won't be allowed in. In 2026, the only way to book tickets is through the official website. Standard entry is 10 euros. Full ticket with the Palo d'Oro, museum, and balcony is 30 euros. The bell tower is 15 euros separately. However, if you want to cover both buildings and add a gondola ride and have a guide walk you through the Rialto Bridge and the main neighborhoods, all without having to sort out logistics yourself, our Venice in a Day tour handles all of that. Highly recommend checking out the link in the description for more details. If you're finding this helpful so far, or if you've learned something, please hit subscribe and leave a comment. Where in the world are you watching this from? Are you planning on going to Venice this year? Let us know below. Across from the Basilica, you can't miss the Campanile. It's 15 euros to enter and go to the top, and the view from there is unmatched. You can see the whole island, the lagoon, and on a clear day you can see the Alps. Go early or in the evening. The tower just came back from a full restoration in 2025. One other fun thing in this square is Cafe Florian. It's under the arcades down the way. It's been open since 1720, and Casanova and Byron have sat there. A cappuccino can run you 10 to 15 euros, but it's worth doing at least once. Sit under the arches, sip your cappuccino, enjoy the views, and enjoy your vacation. One more interesting thing before we wrap up. See the two columns at the waterfront edge of the piazza? One with a winged lion and one with a figure on top. The space between those columns was actually Venice's public execution ground for centuries. It was placed at the main entrance to the city deliberately so that every ship arriving could see it. At the time, the Venetian Republic had a reputation as one of the most sophisticated governments of the medieval world, but it was also genuinely ruthless. It lasted for over 1,000 years, in part because it was very effective at identifying and removing threats to its power. And it wanted people to know that. Public executions weren't just punishment, they were a message to citizens, foreign merchants, and anyone arriving by sea. This is what can happen. Venetians today still won't walk between them. Watch most locals cross the piazzetta and you'll notice they go around. Now you know why. If you're curious about a full itinerary for the day, please check out our Venice in a Day video. It outlines everything you need to know, from arriving, traveling around, to the smaller sites, to getting to Murano and Burano and back. But if you don't make it to that video, I highly recommend the following itinerary. After your morning coffee, take a tour in the morning so you can experience the square before the heat rises. You can see all the main sites in one go without waiting in line. Then, finish the afternoon with a food tour. Exploring any city through a food tour is one of the best ways to understand the full picture of the city. It takes the guesswork out of wondering what restaurant's gonna be good, is this gonna be a tourist trap, is this food gonna be worth my time? I promise it's worth it to take a food tour. We run an amazing food tour. All the stops are curated by our team on the ground, led by an expert guide. Links to this and all of our other amazing tours are in the description. St. Mark's Square gets a bad reputation because people arrive unprepared and walk straight into the crowds and lines they were hoping to avoid. The square isn't the problem, it's your plan. Book the tickets before you leave home, get there early, or come back in the evening. Give the Doge's Palace a full 2 hours, and make sure you plan appropriately for the Basilica. You'll be glad that you did it. I promise you won't regret visiting all these sites. Drop a comment below. Is Venice on your travel itinerary for 2026? We want to know. If you want to see more travel content, make sure you hit subscribe and click the notification bell. We'll see you in Venice.